Hello, everybody, and welcome to the podcast for the 10th of January 2023. Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day wherever you are out there in the big wide world. We've got some news stories here from the beautiful island off Japan and the beautiful island off Toshima, just off it. Starting off the news stories, the first one is up in Aomori. They're looking at a way to convert snow into energy. That is right, they're planning on using the temperature difference between the snow and the outside climate to somehow generate energy. These are in very early trials, and they're actually using a swimming pool in an abandoned school in Aomori. I tell you what, I wish some of my schools had swimming pools. That would be awesome. And the school's abandoned. What a waste, but at least they're turning this into something good. They certainly are. In other stories here in Japan, we also recently just had a taxi driver call the police because a man didn't pay his fare. How much was the fare, you ask? $50, $60, $70, $100? No, the fare was roughly around $10. So the man got in the taxi, got him to take him the very short distance of only $10. The taxis here are extremely expensive, so let me tell you, that is a very short distance indeed. The passenger said to the taxi driver, "Oh, I've left my wallet at home, I'm just going to pop in and get it." And the man suspected something was awry, so he called the police straight away, said he isn't going to get paid. The police came and had a conversation with this man and said, "Hey, are you going to pay the bill or not?" And he went, "Actually, I'm unemployed and I've got no money." So he has been arrested over $10. I tell you what, in the UK, I think the police would just go, "Well, you've been done. There's not much we can do for $10. That's a civil matter, and there you go. Be on your way." And I think the taxi driver in the UK would just go, "Oh, it's £10. I'm gonna have to swallow the loss and stifle it." But not here in Japan. No, that is not laughing matter, let me tell you that. So we've also got some other news here from the beautiful island. We're getting back into the swing of work. We certainly are. We had 2 days back in the office and another bank holiday, and I have to say, it was absolutely beautiful. It certainly has. I just managed to finish the end of Alice in Borderland, the second season. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. It is a Japanese show. It's been dubbed and subbed into English on Netflix. The season was particularly good. I didn't think the last episode was amazing, but it was a nice end to the series. Whether they continue it for season 3, we'll find out. I feel like it came to a good ending. If they didn't, they did leave room for a third series. So hey, good one to watch. Good one to practice your Japanese if you're planning on watching something in Japanese. I've been watching it with subtitles on. So I've been studying kanji a little bit, and it's nice to see a couple of words now are like popping up every now and again. The episode I watched yesterday, I particularly remember me seeing the symbol for death and being like, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what she said," and a few other symbols. I was like, "Oh, I'm learning this stuff. We're getting there slowly but surely." But speaking of Japanese, from Japan Today, if you go on their website, they very often have what they call sort of quotes of the day. And the quote of the day was, interestingly enough, a problem that I'm actually having, in that depending on what area you move to in Japan, there will be better learning support if you're trying to learn Japanese. So here on my island, there is zero that I have found. Zero Japanese teachers, zero Japanese schools that you can go to and learn Japanese. So I'm stuck learning online at the moment. I think if I look at a few places in perhaps Fukuoka, they maybe have online options, which maybe I'll pursue. When I was in the UK, my sister did a Japanese course that was online. So there was one teacher and she taught over Zoom. And I have to say, the lessons weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. I listened to what was going on while she was doing it, and I was like, actually, that's not too bad of an option, so maybe I will go and find something like that. But it is an issue, and if you are looking to come study here or work here, if you are going to a particularly rural place, finding somewhere where someone will teach you Japanese can actually be a little bit of an issue. I've certainly found it here. I did half intention if there was a language school to go to it, but no. It's the same with martial arts here. I moved to the one place in Japan where they have zero martial arts. It's kind of sucks. The closest I can get to at the moment is one of the schools that I work at. They occasionally do judo lessons. I did judo in the UK, so I occasionally go to one of those, and it doesn't really get the gears going as much as a UK lesson, but it's nice to go over some of the moves again and just practice it and keep myself a little bit fit. I don't think I'm ever going to move up any belts in the system, but it's nice to do it and just keep some of the stuff in your mind a little bit, but certainly not quite what it was in the UK. The level as well in the UK, I used to come out of the sessions absolutely exhausted, like dripping in sweat. I remember once eating a ramen before going to a judo session. That was a huge mistake. Just felt sick for the whole session. It was awful. But here I actually feel kind of fine. They don't do like sparring in the sessions. It's just, here's the move, practice, here's the move, practice. Okay, that's the end of the session, back on, which is a huge difference than in the UK. But moving away from the Japanese news for a little bit, that's just something to keep in mind if you are planning to move to Japan, depending on the areas you move to. Certainly, I think or a lot of the islands you'll struggle learning Japanese on, unless you probably move to the Okinawa ones, because they have so much American influence from the army bases. There, I imagine you can probably learn Japanese relatively easy, depending on what sort of island you are. But here, I've struggled. I also imagine if you move to perhaps some of the northern parts of Japan where they're a lot more rural and a lot more snow, you will find it hard to learn Japanese and perhaps even learn a martial art, which I half expected there to be loads of different clubs, but nope, not here, unfortunately. But hey, they've got hiking, they've got beaches. You can't have it all, can you? Certainly not. Now, so yeah, some of the best things though about being here are there is one gym on the island. Apparently, I think there might be another one down at the bottom, but the one gym that there is, it's not too far away from me, and no one uses it, and it's awesome. So today I went in there, not a soul in this little gym. I got to exercise in there without any issues whatsoever. No one else came in, had the gym to myself. It was like having my own personal gym, and I have to say I absolutely love that. I will definitely miss that when I leave this beautiful place. I've been doing a little bit of DIY around the flat here. I had these chairs that I'm sitting on now. They're on wooden floors, and I noticed they're starting to scratch up the flooring a little bit. So I got these little suction cup things, and of course I didn't have a tape measure, so I bought the wrong size for those. But luckily I had a door frame where the wood was just coming away a little bit, so I just got a little bit of super glue and put that on the door frame. And then I thought, oh, I know what I can do with these suction cups. I can just super glue them onto the bottom of these chairs, and that will stop all problems. However, you're then messing with super glue, so I got super glue all over my hands. I did get worried at one point that I might have accidentally super glued the chair to the ground, which would have been hilarious, but no, it just needed a little tug and it came off. But everywhere here is looking good now. Trying to find some of this stuff in the supermarket. Obviously, I can't speak Japanese fully yet. In fact, it's probably going to take me a long time before I can. So I'm just going around with Google Translate, trying to guess that this is super glue. and find it. And luckily, well, I managed to find it all okay. The suction cups for the chairs were probably the hardest things to find. I had to go all the way around our DIY shop that we have here. I was talking to my mum actually, like, what shops do they have here on the island? And they have basically all the stuff that you need to live, but if there's anything special, you need to sort of order it online. So we have up here at least a DIY shop, which is pretty good. We have a supermarket, which is definitely not the best. There's a big difference if you drive about an hour and a half down to the main bit of the island, and they have a lot more stuff. Bread is a big one that I can never find up here. They have bread, but it's like that thick, and you get like 5 slices of it, which I'm not a fan of. But in the bottom bit, they have thin, normal slice bread where you can actually use to make sandwiches, and let me tell you, I've been eating like a child because of it. Every time I defrost some bread, it's like, oh cool, and I just eat a whole loaf of bread in 2 days, which I've done today. I had bacon sandwiches yesterday and jam sandwiches, and I finished off the bread today with a jam sandwich. Can you see why I needed to go to the gym? But also around here, I might have mentioned before, I've got my neighbour's cat, which the other day snuck into my apartment while I was sleeping, and I just woke up to find it next to me, which creeped me out a little bit. So I've banned the cat from coming in the house now, and I was doing my laundry and it tried to sneak in. I had my back door open. I was also letting a little bit of air in my apartment, and it tried to sneak in, but luckily managed to shut it down. I said, no, not happening. But today has been quite a warm day here on the island. I was getting excited, going, oh, maybe we're going to have a short winter, and I hope so. But I found straight away the problems off doing that. So also, while I had my door open, a fly flew in, and I went, oh man, I do not miss having you guys, because in the summer there are bugs and lizards all over this island. They try to sneak in. They do pretty much everything they can to ruin your fun here on the island. They certainly do. But that is going to be it for the podcast for today. It's just a short one. If I find some more Japanese news, I did have one story which was quite of an interesting one, which, I'm going to go into it. The Domino's here, which I have to say, whenever I go off the island and into the mainland, a Domino's is like my taste of home, because there's very few foods that I actually miss being here from the UK. I had a hangover the other day, and I really missed a fry-up. That would have been good to enjoy, a nice greasy fry-up. But obviously here it's a little bit different, so they don't do that. And like spicy food is one of the ones that I've missed the most here. Here in Japan, they have a very they don't have much spice at all in their food. There's a little bit of it every now and again, but certainly not like the UK. And on the island here, there's no... I'm yet to find anywhere that does good Indian food, or does any Indian food of that matter. So anything with spice I really like, and I do miss good pizza like that. That's one I really missed. And Domino's, they are the closest one that I can get to it, and they also have jalapenos on some of their pizzas, and oh man, that's super good. So every time now I go to the mainland, if I see a Domino's, I will get it. I know people are going to say, why did you come all the way to Japan to eat Domino's pizza? It's like, well, I eat Japanese food pretty much like 27 days out of a 28-day month. So I need a break of it every now and again. You in the UK, you don't just eat English food, or if you're in France, you wouldn't just eat French food for 28 days. You need a little break from it. And that's my little break, definitely. And the odd burger every now and again, if I can find them. I went to the burger place here on the island today, and that was, yesterday. That was pretty good as well. But yeah. So they apparently, Domino's, are moving into making burgers as well, which I can't see being a particularly huge success, but I kind of see it as a side thing, that if there's some guy in the party who's like, oh, I don't like pizza, like, oh, you can have a burger, and it's problem solved. Why don't they go more into making this? I feel sorry for the chefs in the back who have to make it, because I kind of see if you ever look at when they're making the pizza, they're very much like very quick at doing it. They know what they're doing. There's no frying involved. You just put it in the oven. But with a burger, it's like, someone actually has to stand over and flip that. It's not quite as perhaps easy as making pizzas. One thing that I used to do, and I might still do it. Here it's hard to find the cheese and all the ingredients for it, but I used to get a wrap base, put some like tomato sauce on it, and put cheese on top, and then basically put that in the oven and use it as a skinny base pizza. I also, when I have a pizza, I always have the thin, crispy base. So I used to work in Pizza Express years and years ago, and those base were perfect, like perfectly thin. Oh, those are the ones that I like. They certainly are. But that's it. So look out if you're here in Japan. Domino's here are now moving into burgers, if that's something that you're into. And that is all the news for today. I'll speak to you in the next one. And make sure to subscribe and like if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.